We are here in Island Pond in the backyard of John Predom, and today we are going to watch him design some of his snowshoe art.
You know, I don't know, everybody's good at something. For me, math was always easy for me, and I like puzzles too. I like three-dimensional puzzles. So this is kind of a big three-dimensional puzzle.
You could start this today and then finish it another day.
It depends. So if we don't get a storm, I'll be able to finish it. But if we get a storm, then I'll have to start over again. The best results are in the coldest weather, so.
Why is that, I wonder?
Well, when it warms up, the snow gets sticky and heavy, so it's a lot more work. Right now it's light and powdery. It's like a pry bar or something.
Wow, that's really substantial.
Yes. The whole property is about 19 acres. I guess the field is about 15. The only thing I do in this field is snowshoe art.
But before we could make the snowshoe art, we have to get far enough away from John's latest creation. And that involves some hiking in snowshoes.
They are big.
It is.
Like the one that's out in the field now has been there almost a week, which is very unusual. Usually it's 2 or 3 days. So as the day goes on, these tree shadows get longer, and it just works well with the designs. When I got out of high school, I didn't know what to do. I went into the Air Force and got a job in electronics, working on F-15s. And then when I came back home, I got a job in Virgins. They made the fuel systems for the F-15. And I was an electronic technician for 40 years. There's a guy, Simon Beck, that does snowshoe art. I think he does it for a profession. And I saw some of his designs, and I was like, I think I can do that. Mine are a lot simpler. I have fun. You know, started out with 2 interlocking circles, and now I'm, doing different types of designs. So from here, I'm going to go out maybe about 100 steps and then start making a circle. You can stay in my tracks if you want to.
Okay.
They average between 3 and 4 hours. That one over there, I spent 4 hours one day and 2 hours the next day. And they can be anywhere between 12,000 and 17,000 steps so far.
9 degrees, feeling balmy out here. The ground was too cold to get the metal stake into it, so my friend Howard stepped in and held it wherever John told him to. So is this okay for me to set up camera here?
Sure.
Like I'm going to set it up on a tripod and kind of film you doing stuff.
What I'm going to do is walk back this track, unrolling this rope, and then make a circle. The first thing we did was this inside circle. And now I put a stake here, and I'm making a circle here, but it actually goes past this circle. Once we've gone all the way around, they will all connect. So.
How does your brain work?
I don't know. I was good in math.
I spent most of my time in the center of the circle filming, trying to figure out what John was doing, and sometimes getting in the way when he passed through.
You might have to move the camera bags here. I'm intersecting. You can just come over this way. Well, the great part about this design is we use the same length of rope, and we can go to any spot on that circle to start.
Until you see the aerial view, it's hard to imagine the design John is creating.
So this is the tricky part, because I'm gonna go past the circle, and I have to kind of guess how far to go. And then I'm going to do that on the other side too. So I'm coming back your way. Well, part of it is I like to be outside and I like to get exercise. So I do a lot of hiking and snowshoeing, but this is it's right in my backyard, and when I get cold, I can go inside. So keep trying to see if I can do more than I did the last time. Originally, they started out in my head. I would just go out and walk around, and now I do them on paper. Then I come out in the field and see if I can recreate them. That big iron pole that I have works well by myself. I can stick it in through the frozen ground, and then it's stable. And the spool of string, that one's, I think that's 50 feet of rope on there. I have different knots at different lengths, so I can, depending on what pattern I'm doing, I know what knot to go to on the rope. I had spirograph when I was a kid, and this is kind of my homemade spirograph out here. The whole design probably won't be done, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get the outline. So Howard, can you bring that post this way? I don't know how many times I've come close to falling down. I'm a fan of the rock and roll group Rush. And many years ago in the early 70s, they did a song called Vitor and the Snowdog. And so when I was hiking the long trail, I adopted the name Snowdog because I like to winter hike. I shared them because I hear people always saying, I hate winter. And I think a lot of that's because people don't know what to do in the winter. I felt like this would inspire people to get outside. It doesn't have to be this big. You could make a 5-foot circle or a 10-foot circle and kind of go off that in your own backyard, you know. Part of the Green Mountain Club, and I just hiked Bald Mountain yesterday, but we do a lot of snowshoeing out. That's my meditation.
The design that we watched John start was erased a few days later by the wind, so he started again and created this epic masterpiece. You can design some snowshoe art with John February 12th at the Island Pond Winter Festival, and we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. Get outside, enjoy the winter, and hey, don't feel stuck in Vermont. It's great to be in Vermont.
I was saying that I am not stuck in Vermont, that I'm happily stuck in Vermont.
I like the sound of that. Yeah, I got to redo the title.
All right.
It's only 15 years. I can change it.
Yeah. Well, and my friends think I should get out here on a lawnmower and do lawnmower art in the summertime.